iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. It is time for the week in review, week 7. Pretty good week. We have a very big game tonight. We'll do the Monday night preview. The Washington Redskins and Philadelphia Eagles coming up in just a little bit. But let's get right to it. Tampa Bay and Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills have been the surprise team of the season by far. Tyrod Taylor absolutely proving that he deserves to be the Buffalo Bills starting quarterback. I was wrong. I had thought that Nathan Peterman was going to be get the job there. But Tyrod Taylor once again doing an outstanding job. 268 yards passing and a touchdown, ran for 53 yards. This is Tyrod Taylor at his best. I mean, really, it was his best game of the season. Outstanding job. LaShawn McCoy, 23 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 31 yards. This is why you played McCoy in DFS. If you started Taylor and McCoy like I did, you might have done very well. At some point yesterday, I was number 2 overall at about 5:45 last night with about a quarter and a half to go in the entire slate. There I was, number 2 overall. Didn't finish up that well. I mean, I still was top 100, but still, you know my thought. I was counting the money. But I want to thank LaShawn McCoy and Tyrod Taylor for making that happen. On the other side of the ball, Jameis Winston. Oh my God, I could have gone to Mike Evans to Jameis Winston little action there. The Bills defense didn't play as well as I thought they would. Jameis Winston, 384 yards. 3 touchdowns, 2 to O.J. Howard, 1 to Mike Evans. Howard is this guy that I just didn't think was going to be involved in the offense, but this guy can ball for sure. And Cameron Braid had 6 catches. So 12 out of the 12 catches belong to the tight ends in this offense. I'm very impressed to see that. Doug Martin really didn't do that much. I didn't think he would. 20 carries, 49 yards. That was expected there. I didn't think he was a great start. He did give people 31 yards receiving, so that made the day better, but this was not a Doug Martin day. The Rams against Arizona, I was absolutely wrong. I was. I didn't think Todd Gurley was going to have a great day. He did. He had a sensational day. I didn't expect that he was going to like running in London. They ran all over them. Robert Woods had a good day. Cooper Kupp had a good day. Even Sammy Watkins had a couple of passes. Jared Goff, 235 yards and a touchdown and ran one in. For Arizona, this team was already reeling. Adrian Peterson, 21 yards against the worst run defense in the NFL. Come on. Seriously. And then Carson Palmer's out. Drew Stanton's in. It's just a mess at this point. Seriously, I would just get rid of all my Cardinals. I don't think any of them are going to help you win. Maybe Larry Fitzgerald, but outside of that, now with Drew Stanton. I mean, it's one thing with Carson Palmer, but with Drew Stanton, not very good. Jacksonville against Indianapolis. So the prediction was going to be when Leonard Fournette was out that Chris Ivory was going to come in, and Chris Ivory was going to be sensational. Well, Chris Ivory was okay. He had 17 carries for 47 yards and a touchdown, but he didn't catch a pass. And oh yeah, this guy TJ Yeldon was pretty good too. 9 carries, 122 yards and a touchdown, 2 receptions for 15 yards. And I remember taking Yeldon in a couple of drafts at the beginning of the season as my last pick, and then he got injured. And then, Fournette was so good, I ended up cutting him. But look, they've got Ivory, they've got Yeldon, they've got Corey Grant. The Jaguars should make a trade. Somebody will want to pick up TJ Yeldon at this point. I couldn't believe that they wouldn't. Seriously, I couldn't believe that they wouldn't. For Indianapolis, once again, Marlon Mack not getting the football enough, 5 carries. Frank Gore, 9 carries. It's just shameful. Marlon Mack at least had a few receptions, 4 for 40. But T.Y. Hilton, 2 receptions. In 2 games, he has 3 receptions. What are you going to win? Seriously, what are you going to win? If you don't get your best players involved, you lose. Just ask the Atlanta Falcons about that. Okay, the Jets and the Dolphins, and I know I've spoken about Matt Moore because I know I hate Jay Cutler. And the minute Jay Cutler was injured, Matt Moore comes in, and that team was energized. Jarvis Landry and Kenny Stills were all over the field catching footballs. If I'm Adam Gase, luckily it's a short week. There's no way that he goes back to Jay Cutler, right? Right? Ajayi didn't have a great day, but he didn't suck. 51 yards. I mean, it really was only 2.2 yards per carry, but he did have 3 catches for 26 yards. That was good to see. For the Jets, I just hate this running three-headed hydra. Powell with 9 carries, Forte with 7, McGuire with 3, Forte with 5 receptions, Powell with 2. It's just a killer for fantasy. I just want to start Bilal Powell, but I can't. I just can't. And then receiving, Jermaine Kearse, 1 catch, Robbie Anderson, 3, Safarian Jenkins, 3. Look, I can chalk this up to Miami's defense, and they look pretty good at times, but the Jets have to do a better job. Speaking of better jobs, Cam Newton did one of the worst jobs I've ever seen it, and perhaps the Carolina Panthers did one of the worst jobs I've ever seen. So here's something that if you're looking at this box score, you're probably doing the double take. Mitchell Trubisky, 4 completions on 7 attempts. 7 attempts. He had 1 pass to Tariq Cohen for 70 yards, 2 to Zach Miller for 29, and 1 to Tanner Gentry for 8. They ran the ball 26 times. Are you telling me, if you're Ron Rivera, that you don't stack the box against this team and make Trubisky beat you? Seriously. What are you not seeing? They have no receivers. They have no offense. It's Jordan Howard, and Jordan Howard. Cover Howard, cover Miller, watch Tariq Cohen. This ain't that hard. And Carolina couldn't get anything going. I hate Cam Newton. Hate. And anybody who tells you to start Cam Newton in fantasy, I don't agree with that. You can't rely on this guy. Now look, you want to do $4 in a dream with Cam Newton, God bless. Anything more than that, good luck to you. Christian McCaffrey, 7 carries, 10 yards. Seriously? Seriously. All right, speaking of seriously, Baltimore and Minnesota, how bad are the Ravens? I mean, Joe Flacco, 186 yards and a touchdown. They can't run the ball. They run 20 carries for 64 yards. They can't catch the ball. I mean, Michael Wallace gets a concussion. This team is terrible. This team is legit terrible. Legit terrible. Minnesota, Latavius Murray gets 113 yards. They ran 33 times for 169 yards. They didn't need Case Keenum to do anything. It's a good thing because I didn't like Adam Thielen. I had a little Kyle Rudolph, but not much. You don't really throw on the Ravens. That's not usually how you beat them. You just beat them by being better than them. All right, the Saints and the Packers. I got to give all the credit in the world to the Saints. They are on a hot streak right now. This offense is clicking. You've got a Hall of Fame quarterback with 2 very good running backs. And let me tell you something. I said Michael Thomas was going to have a good game. Ted Ginn Jr. I mean, look. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting overwhelmed here. Last year, we saw Taylor Gabriel be a terrific player. Why? Because he was playing with Matt Ryan. When he played in Cleveland, he stunk. Now we're seeing Ted Ginn do all sorts of great things. Why? Because he has Drew Brees throwing to him versus Cam Newton. Ted Ginn, let's see. 4 for 66 and a touchdown last week. 7 for 141. I mean, come on. Seriously. This is why Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Mark Ingram looks great. Kamara looks great. And the defense is playing well. So the big question for Green Bay was the following. 1, how would Brett Hundley do? Answer, not very well. Second question, was any of their receivers going to catch the ball? No, they didn't. Panic time for Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams. Panic. Thirdly, who's going to be the running back there? I think the answer is clear. Aaron Jones. 17 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. And he had 3 receptions. Ty Montgomery, probably where he should be. The backup. Not a bad backup, but the backup. That's what he is. He's a backup. All right, Tennessee and Cleveland. So let's go on record. Cleveland's run defense is very good. Very good. 32 carries for 80 yards was all the Titans could muster. DeMarco Murray, 18 carries for 59 yards. He had 3 receptions. Derrick Henry, 13 for 13. He was terrible. He had 2 receptions and he dropped another one. I mean, this team is not very good. But let me tell you what the Titans have. They have a quarterback who doesn't make mistakes. They have a really good kicker, and the defense is getting better. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And they're going to go on break, and they need Corey Davis desperately. Eric Decker is shot. He is done. 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 Rashard Matthews, done. I mean, they need Corey Davis desperately. They want to make the playoffs. You need to throw the ball. For Cleveland, DeShone Kizer was a train wreck. They took him out. They brought in Cody Kessler. I like Cody Kessler a little bit. But Duke Johnson did a good job, as he always does. Crowell actually showed up in the passing game. Why? Because Cody Kessler found him. But Ricardo Lewis, Kenny Britt, just scrubs with a side of Scrabini. Dallas and San Francisco. So first, let's give all the credit in the world to Dallas. Dak Prescott, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns. Zeke Elliott, who I told you was the play of the day, 147 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns rushing, 72 yards receiving, and a touchdown. He was everywhere you want. He could have had 500 yards. They just didn't. They could have given them the ball more. He could have had 500 yards. And that would have helped me because Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant killed me in the second half, and that's why I lost my $200,000. But great job by Dez, great job by Dak. Just a very good game. For San Francisco, C.J. Beathard took a beating, but you know what? I like the upside of this guy. I like where it's going there. I see something there. He had 30 yards rushing and a touchdown, 235 yards passing. Carlos Hyde looked good. They just have to get the ball better to Pierre Garçon, and George Kittle only had 1 catch. I expected George Kittle to have a much better day. I did. All right, let's go to Seattle and the G-Men. Russell Wilson picked apart the Giants. Man, he looked good. 334 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. He just beat the Giant defense deep all game long. Boom, 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 all game long. Seriously. Great job. Jimmy Graham, I said, was the play of the week. Once again, the Giants let up another touchdown to a tight end. Probably should have had him on the team with $200K. I had Hunter Henry instead. Bad life decision. Paul Richardson with a touchdown. Dougie Baldwin, 9 for 92 and a touchdown. I did think Fat Eddie Lacy looked pretty good, though. There were times he looked good. The Giants are just bad. Outside of Evan Engram, this team stinks. This team stinks. Darkwa, Gallman, Vereen, blah, 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 blah. Terrible. Terrible. Please, New York Giants, just play for the number 1 pick. That's all I ask you to do. Speaking of terrible, how does A.J. Green at halftime have 3 receptions for 41 yards and in the second half gets nothing? How is this possible? You're trying to win a football game and you don't give it to your best player. Joe Mixon couldn't get involved enough because they were behind. But you have to get the ball to A.J. Green, and don't tell me Joe Hayden was on him, please. Andy Dalton. See, the problem with Andy Dalton, some games he's really good and some games he's really bad. I told you Ben Roethlisberger was going to have a decent day, but I thought it was going to be better. It could have been better. If the Bengals were better, Roethlisberger would have been better. 14 for 24, 224 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had one to Antonio Brown. I was sure that was a touchdown. It was a great play by, I think the guy was Jackson, William Jackson. William Jackson III. That was a pretty good defensive play there for Cincinnati. Lev Bell, 134 yards rushing, 58 receiving, doing the Lev Bell thing that he does. The Los Angeles Chargers do a beatdown on the Broncos, 21-0. So there's something in this game I caught. So Phillip Rivers, they were running a play, and Gordon wasn't doing well. And Phillip Rivers turns to the sideline and shouts, 3-0. In comes Austin Eckler. Boom! Austin Eckler then catches a pass for a touchdown, runs for 38 yards. It's like Phillip Rivers just saw what he needed, and he went and got it. Great job. We knew Keenan Allen wasn't going to have a great day. I didn't think Gordon was going to have a great day. This was just a good defensive battle there. And, all the credit in the world to Joey Bosa with 2 sacks. And this is a good team. And Melvin Ingram, this is a good team, the Chargers. I think the Chargers just have bad luck. But I think this Chargers team, with a good second half, they might make a playoff run. Denver's a mess. I mean, Demaryius Thomas, 2 for 9? 2 for 9. And I thought he was a good play because there was no Emmanuel Sanders. But what does it show you? It shows you that Trevor Siemian stinks. Overrated. All right. New England against Atlanta. Who thought this game was going to be in the 70s? I know I did. I didn't see 23-7 coming. I'm happy it happened because, it would have been worse for me on FanDuel if it didn't. But Tom Brady doing his thing, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dion Lewis looking like the top back there. Rex Burkhead getting off the bench and, off the injury report. 31 yards on 6 carries. Gillislee is not startable anymore. Hogan looks good. Cooks looks good. Gronk, not great. New England didn't have to be great. They were just good enough. But Atlanta looks terrible. This offense looks lost. Devonta Freeman didn't give the ball to him enough. Coleman not existed. Julio Jones looked good in the second half, did nothing in the first half. Mohamed Sanu was their number 1 receiver in the first half. Austin Hooper does nothing. You got to do better. You want to win, you have to do better. It's not good enough. It's just not. All right, let's take a look at tonight's game. By the way, Carson Palmer out 8 weeks. Jay Cutler out for certainly week 8. Please let him be out for more. Please. Please, please, please. For Washington tonight, I like Kirk Cousins a lot. I like Chris Thompson. I like Terrell Pryor. I like Jordan Reed. I like Josh Doxson. I like this team to score 30 points. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Cousins will throw the ball deep. He'll challenge the Eagles. I think Pryor makes a big play. I think Thompson makes some plays. I really am looking forward to this game. For Philadelphia, I like Carson Wentz tonight. I love Alshon Jeffrey tonight. I love me some Zach Ertz tonight. I like Nelson Aguilar tonight. I'm not sure about Blunt. If they fall behind, he could be a 0. Wendell Smallwood, questionable. If they fall behind, Smallwood has a big role tonight. If they're ahead, Blunt has a bigger role. It's as simple as that. So we'll have to see what happens. But this should be a really good, high-scoring, competitive contest. And it's a divisional game. So, the Atlanta-New England game was disappointing, but I don't think this game will be disappointing. I think it'll be pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, Scout DFS is pretty good. And the picks we gave you there were pretty good. And I hope you guys joined and use it. The Optimizer does a great job. Taylor, McCoy, Zeke, that was the Optimizer. If you use the Optimizer, it led you to that direction. The Optimizer's not always right, but it leads you to the right direction and is right a whole lot. So please join ScoutDFS.com. Also, ScoutFantasy.com. Enter the promo code ROTO2017. Get half off your first month. It's not too late to join. You want to win your fantasy league. You want to make some money. You want to do the right thing. Join what we're doing. Join the Scout Army. Let us help you. That's how we roll. All right, guys, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Back tomorrow when we go mining the box scores for Fantasy Gold. Wishing you all a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!